G'day friends and fans, welcome to Dave Talks of Ukraine War Update for the 17th of June 2026. As the war continues, so does the war of words, and I'll continue bringing news and opinions from both sides so that you can make up for yourself who is the least deserving of victory out of the two bad guys. I haven't said it in a while that I think it's upset a lot of people that I support neither side. Why? Ukraine's not my country. They're not fighting for my freedom. They're fighting to stay in power. They had a signed deal and they blew it. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. They've had numerous offerings of help and assistance to stop the war, but they keep knocking it back. And now all of a sudden they want to end the war and blame Russia for not wanting to stop the end of the war, to stop. Because Russia won't trust them. Because every time they've stopped the war, Ukraine has rearmed and started attacking again and then blames Russia for... There's no trust anymore. Why? Because Ukraine wants a third party to step in and rescue them. That's why. It's princess syndrome all over again. Except this time it's Zelensky. But again, if they hadn't bowed out Zelensky, we wouldn't be in this mess, right? And remember when Putin was our friend? I can remember that. That was Bill Clinton. Remember Bill Clinton? He called Putin our friend. And talking about peace with Russia. And had Bill Clinton not betrayed Putin, I think we would have had a united Europe by now. And we wouldn't have had Brexit. We wouldn't have had a lot of things. The problem is that people say one thing and do another. And no matter what we say, whatever we point out, there just seems to be a vast amount of idiots out there who can't be told, who keep thinking, nah, this time will be different. Well, you've repeated the same mistakes for 60 years. Yeah. Time to give Pauline Hanson, Nigel Farage and Donald Trump a go, because your ideas failed. And I remember when you were running around clucking your heads going, the old ways have failed, give communism a go. Well, communism failed too. But that's the problem, is that people want communism. Now, Kiev was hit multiple times today. There was allegedly a crash. For now, no proof it was shot down. And besides, crashes do happen. So I'm not going to buy into the conspiracy theory. We've already had this gone through 3 times already, where Ukraine will never admit to any of their aircraft being shot down. Never. So even if there's a legitimate crash, there's just so many people are going to question it. It's just a waste of time. They're never going to admit it. All right, so somewhere between 120 and 140 drones were fired and 2 missiles. Now, the missiles both missiles hit their targets, and they were long range. Most of the drones, some obviously are going to be shot down, but most of the drones, they never say where they're going to hit or what they hit. But I'm telling you now, most of them go after supply vehicles or supply depots, and there are hundreds of them across Ukraine. So, and yeah, remember, the average small drone is only big enough to destroy a car. It takes sometimes up to 8 to destroy a tank. So when you see a really big building on fire, that's not a small drone that did that. Now, Ukraine can't sustain its missile attacks on Russia, and sometimes Russia shoots them all down. But there were air alerts across Russia today. But again, Russia 100% successful some days, but not every day. And Zelensky's claiming, victory, we destroyed another Russian oil plant. Oh, it was shut down for 24 hours. It's back in operation. And actually, it was an internal fire started by sabotage. And the saboteur, probably on his way to jail, a grave. Yeah. You're caught in the act, you're dead. You do not want to be a criminal in Russia at the moment. Well, you wouldn't want to be a soldier in either Ukraine or Russia at the moment either. I feel sorry for both sides who are victims of Ukraine's aggression. And whether you want to believe me or not, that's up to you. But right now, Russia's making small headways in Kupiansk, not much where else. A little bit around Lyman area, mostly to the south, although no major city has fallen yet. They have made significant progress in Kostakovia. Now, most of the outskirts are taken, and some of the inner city, and the Ukrainians are feeding through the canal through to the south here, trying to push out, but they're losing ground. They've lost ground in the industrial area. And these blue, apparently administration buildings, there's a few of them here. But they include schools in these and government offices. There aren't that many, but apparently this is the major hub of Kostakovia. Kostakovia. But most of the city is evacuated over the lot. But outer areas, Russian troops have advanced as well, but not that far. Russia is slowly swallowing this city, but so far not much else. Here there's been a bit of growth, but not, Here, the Russians have advanced a little bit into Voleshki. They've gone around. They've been stuck here for a while, so they're starting to go around and taking positions and flanking the Ukrainians and firing on their positions in the main street. Bit of advance here, but it's mostly open field, where the Russians are now setting up outside of Savitsky, which gives them shelling on a grand scale north and east. No pushback here. It's starting to go quiet again. Only small action on the central frontier. And Zaporozhye is busy without progress. And that's the state of the front. Now, this channel is sponsored by you, the reading audience. Empire Valves, that's one word, empirevalves.myshopify.com. Your one-stop shop for enchanted treasures based on my writing. The Empire Valves, where science and technology meet fantasy, hope, and wonder. Available on Amazon. All right, so Russia is flexing its air force and reminding the world why everyone is jealous. Russia, with the economy the size of Italy, maintains the world's third largest air force and the second largest bomber fleet. Now, these are hypersonic bombers. Now, these are products of the Cold War, but the Tupolev T-22 is one of the fastest aircraft in the world. One of. It's not as fast as some American spy planes, but for a bomber, it can reach Mach 1.8 at cruising altitude and just over Mach 1 at sea level. It is a huge beast, and for a while, one of the few swing-wing operations in full-time service. Now, the B-1, of course, has come and gone. So will the B-2 soon. The B-21 is a fixed wing. Most of your F-111s are out of service. There aren't that many swing wings left. I believe the F-14 is still in service, so yeah. I can't think of any other swing wing right now, but yeah. Now, this is an impressive aircraft. Now, it was designed for nuclear payload. And there it is. Although an illustration, the infamous X-22, Russia's primary nuclear weapon. The SSD scam. All right, so since its first flight 63, I think, didn't end the service properly until 74. Saw combat in Afghanistan and a few others. Has been the primary deliverer of airborne missiles into Ukraine. There's one going off now to say hello to Zelensky. But no one knows for sure exactly how many aircraft there are. But as Russia's showing off, Zelensky did not make that much of a dent to Russia's. And Russia's showing off that it's got most of its aircraft back and repaired and replaced what it has lost. And the X-22 is just showing off that they have a wide range of arsenal, a wide range of Iskanders to launch at Ukraine and go after Ukrainian launchers as well, predominantly homing in on more expensive equipment than the launchers, the radar systems and command and control centers. Why destroy the launcher when it's unmanned and it's empty? Make them expend missiles and, of course, take out air defenses by wasting. Why blow up an air defense when you can make them waste ammunition? The Russians are grinding Ukrainians, is what I'm trying to say. Although, whoops, what's happened here? This was loaded on a page. All right. G7 leaders are considering extending military production licenses. Lo and behold, it turns out all these drones that Ukraine make, they don't make. They're under production license. And they're predominantly produced in Poland. Now, Russian forces have successfully advanced near Belisky, but the map hasn't updated, of course, because it's sometimes up to a day old. But the Russian troops are advancing. And I thought, wow, that's a cool picture. That's the new is it RPG 28? 36? It's the new 120mm, not 120mm, 80mm shoulder launched. The 122mm is its big brother, launched from BTRs and other, and the Tunguska, is it the Tunguska air defense? Yeah. So Ukrainian troops near Donetsk have been trapped, according to Russian military. They refuse to surrender, refuse to retreat, but as far as I know, they still got a path out. They just refuse to leave as the Russians advance. There are pockets of Ukrainians who have been trapped in the past, up to 3 to 4 months, like in what happened in what's it called, Batmuk. Well, you know the fate of those who didn't surrender. Yeah, they died. The Russians found hundreds of dead Ukrainians in the tunnels, suffocated mostly from the collapsing tunnels, and toxic fumes have built up over time with the lack of air, lack of power, lack of warmth. But Zelensky's crimes, whether he's stolen money or bombed civilians, Emmanuel Macron has vowed never to hold a war crime trial against his good buddy. What a shock. Now, Laroff is right. You want to destroy Europe? Like the Ukrainian. Watch them borrow money, never pay their debts. They'll crumble Europe like they helped crumble the USSR. Fact is, Poland and other countries are going to not want Ukraine around. They put there's enough people who remember that Ukraine was the enemy who wanted to put their boot on the neck of Western Europe and had put their boot for a long time on the necks of Poles, Romanians and Hungarians. Hungary for now seems to be the only one who remembers that Ukraine are not a bunch of innocent babes in the woods, but die-hard revolutionaries who are just looking for a free meal ticket right now because they haven't got a communist master to look up to because China abandoned them. Now, as for the internal challenges facing the European Union, Lavrov is saying that Ukraine is just going to exasperate them all. Now, Turkey continues to try mediation, and they're increasingly frustrated as well. And is anyone surprised? You cannot save fools. And fools support Ukraine. If you really supported Ukraine, why do you want another million Ukrainians to die? Is it 1 million dead Ukrainians and 7.5 million displaced enough for you? Half the country's gone, and all you can say is, "Oh, at least there's dead Russians." Well, that shows you what you are, because I don't see you fighting Russia. Why should we fight Russia when our real enemy is already in the door, running our governments into the ground, raping our women, molesting children, stabbing our kids in the streets, and we're told to shut up. Go Ireland. Yeah, we should be backing the Irish, not Ukraine. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. You can support the channel if you want. I really like that. On Ko-Fi, Patreon, buy my books, buy my merch. All my links in the link tree. Take care now.